Go back to your country.
Are you the one who ate the bat? This is America. Speak English.
Coronavirus.
Chinese people are nasty.
Flu. Ching chong.
Make these Chinese people die. No one
Don't
wants
bring
you.
that chink virus.
Stupid chink. The year 2020. Headlines. COVID-19 has fueled racism and xenophobia against Asian Americans. One by one, we watch our brothers, sisters, elders, our community verbally and physically attacked. We became the blame for a global pandemic that infected 21.8 million people and claimed the lives of 773,000 worldwide and still counting. Yet racism is simply not the only challenge we face. The stigma that surrounds the virus kept customers out of Asian-owned business in fear of contracting COVID-19. This drove 80% of customers away, leading to profits plummeting and some stores forced to shut down. I reached out to organizations led by Asian American and Pacific Islanders in Philadelphia to get their perspectives on how COVID-19 has impacted the Asian community.
Hi, my name is Cinematography Storms, and I am the founder and director of Modero and Company. I am one of the community leaders for the Indonesian community in South Philadelphia. The COVID-19 impacted the Asian American in Philadelphia, specifically the Indonesian community, because a lot of people actually lost their jobs. People don't have income coming in. People are struggling with paying rent. And then, of course, also with healthcare issues, a lot of the immigrant community don't have health insurance. So from healthcare perspective, it's impacted us tremendously.
My name's Alex Marika Webb, and I'm the executive director at Asian Americans United. And Asian Americans United has existed in Philadelphia since 1985, when it was founded by a group of people who wanted to be able to start taking a stand around some of actually the anti-Asian incidents that were happening in the community. One of the things that we've heard about and know is that when smaller businesses have had to close, the number of employees has changed. People have needed to look for new jobs, and those new jobs have often been in places, factories, different places like that, where there are workers that are needed, where other workers are needing to be replaced, and they're having to now travel there in not very safe conditions, in vans that are closed, having to then work in places that are not set up to avoid getting COVID. And so there are segments of community that are getting sick.
Our community that's already underrepresented at times, and then because our community is the type of community with this culture that we tend to not to rock the boat. Like, we are very submissive, we follow the rules and things like that. But then during this pandemic, because of that one comment from our own leader, we get targeted for just being who we are, for just being someone who's not even bothering anybody, just going about our business, just taking the public transportation, doing our daily life. So we were under attack for being who we are. We didn't even do anything.
We know that, for example, in New York City, even in just the last few weeks, an elderly woman was beaten and set on fire. That could happen in any of our communities easily. That we certainly were having incidents in Philadelphia.
Anti-Asian and xenophobia has been deeply rooted in our history, but there has also been a long history of Asian-led organizations that have helped the community through these tough times.
There have been different funds that have been set up to provide relief to undocumented folks who are ineligible for unemployment compensation, the federal level or the state level, and also who are not eligible for the stimulus relief check. We have been lucky to be able to access funds to distribute to our communities and community members who are in that situation. And I think we will have distributed probably somewhere close to $125,000. We've also been a part of distributing supplies to our communities that are in need, taking part in distribution and doing distribution of masks and gloves and information. We've tried to set up a lot of access to resources for our communities and to work in partnership with other organizations.
So Modero has collaborated with a few other community organizations within the Indonesian community. And then what we found out when we heard that a lot of people lost their jobs, they don't have income, they are afraid to leave their homes, we decided to come together and start collecting resources just within ourselves first to put together care packages that consist of essential foods, things that people can use and eat at home, and then maybe combine it with other things. That's what we did, and we started doing that about once in every 2 weeks. But then we promoted that on social media. We started having other community members donating other resources, like even organizations like Resolve Philly, CMAC, Asian American United even donated funding and then donated food. So we're very grateful for that. And what we have also trying to do is connecting resources from City of Philadelphia to our community, specifically because of the language barrier. So then we have a few people in Modero and also a part of this kampung team. So kampung actually means village, helping community members if they need to fill out like unemployment or workers relief fund from the city of Philly. Those are the kind of things that we've been doing even to this day, and we're planning to do this for the rest of the year.
This historically is something that we've seen at play for quite a long time now in the United States, and it tends to really grow when our communities are under stress. We need to, in turn, take a stand for other communities that are being targeted. We must stand with Black communities. We must stand with Latinx communities that are also being targeted in different ways. We shouldn't blame each other. We shouldn't turn against each other. We're going to have to fight shoulder to shoulder for our futures at this point.
We should be proud of who we are and where we come from. Our rich history and legacies that we carry with us from songs, dances, and traditions we pass down from generation to generation, bringing us closer to our roots.
Learning about or remembering the traditions of making lanterns, solving riddles, and the lessons in the folk tales that we're sharing.
Each day should be a celebration of our community, to learn, respect, and honor other cultures as it will unite us together.
This is what we are saying as Asian Americans, not just in Philadelphia, but across the country.
We need to fight shoulder to shoulder for the injustice we witness around the world. Because although one person can make a difference, together we can change the world.